Senior, your host, and this is Community Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an outstanding program this afternoon. We have the younger group with us, and we have Mr. Brad Tate. His artist name is Skit P.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening,
How you doing?
Skit.
Hey, nice. Man, how you doing, man? Everything's smooth.
We're very happy that you've taken time from your busy schedule to be with us to talk to Lake County about the entertainment field that you're in. Lake County is approximately 750,000 people. But the show airs not only in Lake County but Cook County, CNN TV, and also Kenosha County. And not only that, Skid, but you're going to be, if you have not been known all over the world, you will be after this program, because it's online, so you can, the viewers can view it all over. And this is a new for Community Forum. It's new for me. It's new for Lake County to learn more about the field that you're in. As a matter of fact, I would like for you to tell our listening audience a little bit about your personal and professional background and how you got into the entertainment field.
Man, well, it all started way back, I'd say, in high school. I say way back like it was a real long time ago.
Okay.
But it definitely started way back, with the DJing, was doing the house parties, and the music was a thing that just really, sparked my interest, And from the beginning, the more I got into it, I was like, I wanted to create my own remixes, just really change things up, bring my own flavor to it. I'm really big in expression, and just getting out there, just myself. I want the people to know me because I'm kind of an introvert in some cases. And the music has always been the way to really, I feel, talk to the people. And that's my connection. But we was rocking the party scene, for a while, and I moved on and started recording some of the local cats that was, doing their thing around the way, and they always come through. This was like back, I had, the pop filter on the $5 Radio Shack microphone, it was like a real live hustle and flow. But, it just started off me recording, and just with that setup, we're coming through, and then a couple of the guys, Shaq the Guy, J-Fix, G-Nix, D-Lad, we all just kind of got up. We were like the regulars. We was in there back to back. And, it just kind of grew from there. And to where I'm at today, in regards to moving around and doing the music and what I've developed into, which is, doing everything from the production to the songwriting, composing, just different collaborations with artists. It's been great performing as well, getting out here and just rocking the shows and just connecting with the people. It's definitely deep.
Now, it's something about artist name. Tell us about the background. Yours is Skit P. I know you mentioned some other.
Yeah, well, the name Skit P derives from schizophrenic personalities, because I feel like at not one very time are we all just like one individual. Like at one moment, you been to know somebody all your life, and it's like, I've never, known you to do that. We all have different sides to us, and that's what I want to express through the music. I feel far so often, artists have been kind of like cookie cut, where, hey, if you're a gangster rapper, all you could do is, do gangster stuff and beat people up in the club, whatever. It's just, I mean, it's more than that. I believe as people, we, the good, the bad, we all care about certain things, emotions, all that. I put all that into one because, it's all about feeling right now.
Now, did you have, who inspired you, though? Did you have heroes or to guide you?
In regards to the artistry, man, it all started, you know, I would say the big with waking up Saturday mornings, you know, my dad playing the Friday soundtrack, Snoop Dogg, you know, his first album that came out. And I remember hearing those things, you know, Salt and Pepper, all that stuff just playing, you know, and those were the first things where this was like, well, this is music. This is what good music is, you know. I see Pops rocking to it, he's down there, you know, and that's what I came up to, the long trips, you know, going down south, like, you know, hearing the Gap Band, and artists as way back as that, Marvin Gaye, you know, all those artists I say were big influences, you know, from, you know, Earth, Wind and Fire to Kanye West, the Neptunes, you know, it's so like many, I would say that I just really like take in and just grasp them, you know, and just have learned, you know.
Well, tell our listening audience this, or viewing audience, as a matter of fact, that what group of people are you you're appealing to? Is the young, the middle-aged, or the elderly group?
You know, I say I got something for everybody. You know, I feel like I can connect with anyone, but, you know, I feel like if I feel something, there's so many people out there that feel that same thing, you know, and that's why I say it's for everybody. I can't put myself in a box, you know, because I'm open to everyone. You know, everyone has something to bring to the table at some point. So, you know, you may not like the entirety of, you know, of the whole album front to back, but I guarantee you there's gonna be something on there to be like, that is my song. And it's been like that, and it's crazy. You know, if you, especially the past project that I put out, Sex, Drugs, and Hip Hop, it's really a compilation of just so many different styles, genres, and it draws a lot of people in, you know, I'd say from the most, you know, gangster dudes in the street, you know, to the hippies, you know, the ladies. I have something for everyone, you know.
You know, in watching the television reviews and the artists performing, we find people in the audience singing right along with the rappers, and so I guess it's nothing new then, right?
It isn't. I think it was the same thing back in the day. You know, we all had our songs there where we could sing with. Hey, the Isley Brothers came on. I think everybody was in the car driving down the street rocking with them. You know, you know, it's the same thing today, and that's kind of, you know, it's one of the great things. And I say, you know, parts of being an artist, you know, when you can perform and you got people out there, you see that connection. They're moving with you, they're singing with you, they're vibing out. That's what I do it for. You know, that's one of the biggest things, you know, is just, like I said, that's my connection to the world.
And the sounds does not appeal to one culture group, right? It's to all cultures.
I definitely say, because I have all cultures, you know, in my music, you know, from everything that I may have some Cuban drums in there playing along the rhythms, you know, some native chants in there here and there. It's you know, everything, you know, because I'd say every experience, you know, every person that I've come across, everything that I've seen, that I've heard is, you know, in my music, you know, it's life, you know, and I mean, we all can relate to life in some way, shape, or form.
Well, tell us about the background of rhythms. Where did it come from? What's the history of it?
Well, we're talking about drums. I know it definitely dates back to Africa, you know what I'm saying? From where it all started, civilization right there, you know, the motherland. You know, and that's still, like, in the day, like, the biggest thing, you know, the core of hip hop is the drums, you know, the beats, the breaks, the 808s, you know. There's so many, like, subcultures and genres of hip hop today. You know, when it first started, I'd say, like, back in the 70s, early 80s, you know, around that era, you know, they kind of had, like, that simple, you know, like, beat, and it's just, like, evolved. There's so much more, you know, that is, like, kind of everybody puts in hip hop. It's now pop. You know, it really is. It's popular culture. I mean, everybody, you could go to Japan, they know hip hop. You could go to Germany, they're rocking with hip hop, you know.
Amazing.
It's crazy how many people it's touched, you know, but it's just, you know, that's music, you know, and that's the beauty of it, you know. it's some people that, you know, probably couldn't carry on a conversation, but, you know, they could probably play that guitar, and when they play it, you know, it's that they're connecting with the people, like you feel what they feel at that moment. And I know I've definitely been blessed to come across a lot of those musicians up to this point, whether they're featuring on some of the albums, you know, with the co-production and things like that. And that's why also I say, you know, with the music, it's for everyone, because I bring everybody in. You know, I'm really reaching out and connecting. You know, it may not always just be me on the song. You know, I may start at the beat and somebody else comes in, and you fuse all that. It's you gotta have something great, you know.
I know. I have 3 youngsters, and they all 3 are musically inclined. My son played saxophone, you know, and of course my daughters played piano and so forth. But it's the wife and I have no musical background at all, but we appreciate the music, right? And this is what a lot of people they appreciate the sounds. But I'm wondering, the hip hop nature, when did it take over? Because it wasn't when I came along, you know, in the 50s and 60s, but when did it take hold?
I'd have to say, you know, it really all depends on where you're at, you know, because even though as widespread it had its pockets here and there, you know, where things started, where it was really concentrated, that sound, you know, that's where you hear a lot, you know, where the Dirty South, they've been doing things for, man, I mean, it's the 80s, you know, I mean, since then, I mean, and it's been around for, you know, a while, but it's like I said, you know, you got Texas, you got Chicago, that's always been a heavy music scene, Atlanta, which is like still to the day, you know, it's you've always had like great musicians, you know, whether hip hop or, you know, anything. But
I know it's used in the South in communication. I know the slaves use it in the drums and so forth to communicate with each other too.
That's deep. That's deep.
And so that was it's around the time. Well, tell us about. I know you probably say it's innate, but did you have music lessons, or did you just?
You know, when I first started off, it was all self-taught. I was just going off the ear and what I felt. Let me tell you something. It wasn't all of that. I think I played the tuba back in elementary school and the viola at one point.
Okay.
And then, you know, I got into sports, and from there, you know, I started. I just pretty much did it myself, you know, and I was just growing from there. But I did take one class, kind of 2, but I dropped that class after like 2 days. You know, it was like I started to take music theory and piano lessons, and at one point I never knew what the chords were. Never knew. I didn't know what C, D, E, you know, what was this scale, was that chord, anything.
Every good boy, every good does fine. What do I remember? Something to way back.
I couldn't tell you. You know, but you know, that was like. When I took that class right there, you know, that kind of jump started me, because it put me in the mind frame where I could talk to other artists and you could communicate like, okay, I'm in C right now and this and that, and just, you know.
Now the surroundings that you were raised in, did that influence? How did that influence you?
Well, yeah, surroundings, genetics, all that I think is an influence, you know, because like I said, you know, being in the house, you know, you always hear the system going, you know, and listening to what your parents are listening to, you know, the long car rides with the parents, you know, in most cases as a kid, you don't got control of the radio. You listening to what they listening to. Right. So those were, you know, at that point I got to take all that in, and yeah, you know, that's why I think with the West Coast, I mean, I grew up listening to Snoop a lot of the time, you know, and it was, Mom didn't want me listening to that though, you know. I had to go ahead and sneak the tapes, you know, and you know, kind of duck off so I could listen to them, you know, and I could definitely recite every Snoop Dogg song at one point. But no, that was, I say that was one of the biggest influences, those bass lines, that groove, really had taken it from the 70s, that funk sound. They turned it into the G-funk, and coming up listening to that, that's what really like inspires me. As you're hearing a lot of the records, that I've produced at this point, that bass, the bass line is the thing that really like, you could just vibe out to it, and just it make you feel good at the end of the day.
What about, it seemed like you have a passion really, for what you're doing, but it seemed like you have a lot of creativity, wouldn't you? So what influences you to keep doing the things you're doing?
I'd say this is really the driving force, the life force, I'd say, of myself, creating, I have to bring to life what I see. Far so often, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because not everyone can see what you see.
Okay, right.
But, whether it be movies and things like that, which is what I'm also getting more into with the production, with the film, I really want to bring some of the comedy and things, because that's something that's a big part of me. Like I'm kind of the meddler, the prankster to some degree. I can be, but I really want to do that. That's really what's going. I've been actually working with Phil, or Can't Knock It, one of the hosts from Sippin' on No Common Sense. Real funny dude. He was actually on the set with us for one of the last video shoots that we did called Show Me You Real. It was for one of the songs that's off of the album that's out there, Sex, Drugs, and Hip Hop. And it was just, it was fun on set. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, he helps out even from the directing, to not only just bringing life to the set and everything. It was, great time, funny dude. But working with cats like that, is definitely motivation to kind of get into the film, because they allow you to, bring out good production, as long as just with the supporting crew that I've had for God knows how long, with Jay Fix, D Lad, Jonelle Glory, my mom, she's always pushing. She's, definitely a driving force. I'd say one of the best PR, reps out there, anyone can have. But
yeah, you mentioned about your mom. Had it not been for her, we wouldn't have had the show. She is responsible for being this show, and so she's you mentioned about the greatest PR person in the world. Then you can credit her, and I could see.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I need people like that, because sometimes I've, like I stated, I could kind of be the introvert where I'm ducked off in the studio, not even on social media. I'm terrible with that. I have to get better, and try to, I told everybody I'm gonna be more visible 2018. I'm gonna get some more lives going on, get all that jumping off. And really just get out there and just show the people, what's been happening. Because for the most part, a lot of it's been in my mind, just keeping everything secret, but we got J Fix dropping, D Lad, Jonelle's dropping another one. I got a project on the way. We plan on doing a collab project as well. And all these artists are just phenomenal. The world has to hear them, and they're going to. Like we said, hey, this show right here, right? Hey, it's the world. So, hey, tune in.
Yeah, the scripture tells us that laughter is, smile really is like a laughter to the soul. If people don't laugh and get enjoyment out of life, it's the life is short. The life is short,
You need that. You gotta have the laughs. You gotta have them. I mean, you can't be walking around serious and tense all the time. Sometimes life will turn us, to zombies. The way that's, the system and certain things is set up. But you gotta find what you really enjoy, what you do, what puts a smile on your face. What gets your heart beating. That's we need that. But
well, I'm looking at the the outlook in the music industry or the entertainment field. What's your outlook? And I may add to that, what do you expect to be like 10 years from now?
10 years from now, I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna be playing 20 instruments, You know, I'll probably be doing a whole saxophone album because I'll probably be inspired by Kenny G. You know, who knows? It's no telling, you know, what may grasp my attention at the moment and what I may be driven to, but I know I'll still be doing music. I'll still be, you know, finding a way to put the smile on the people's faces, you know? That's anybody, you know, the people that's around me, you know, I want them to feel how I feel, you know? I want them to feel good. I want them to, you know, have that, you know, upbeat, you know, I want to put a smile on their face. You know, I've been blessed, you know, to have done so coming up, you know, and I just feel like I want to get that love to the rest of the world.
Do you feel that the state of hip hop and rhythm and blues is really going to be out there, right?
Oh yeah, it's going to continue to grow. It's just like when rock and roll was around when it was first starting, you know, I'm sure you had the people who was used to this kind of music stating like, oh, this is trash, get this out of here, don't play it, you know. It's but it continued, it's still living, it's still a genre, people still play it, they still connect with it. I mean, it's you know, it's definitely going to be around. And it's crazy because the way the state of it is right now, you know, you got a lot of these new artists, some of them called, you know, mumble rappers and things like that. I don't get it. To me, it's music, you know. It's one self-expression. I can't say, and it's a time and place for everything. I can't say that, hey, I'm a faithful listener where it's like I ride around to it. This is life. This is what moves me. But some of it I play in the gym, you know. It get me hyped. It's filled with energy, you know, and it gets you turned.
You know, I mentioned creativity because my grandson is actually he's in California now, and this is his. I mentioned full-time job, you know, but it could be part-time or full-time, right? With you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it's full-time because, you know, even still at this point, you know, I still gotta get up, work a full-time job, and then it's like when you clock out of that, it's back to this because, you know, it's sad to say, but this is what I think about throughout the entirety of the day. You know, I'm thinking about visuals. I'm thinking about, you know, whether it be a skit, you know, a funny skit or something like that, an idea for something. I may have a song. It's all, my mind is constantly racing throughout the day. You know, I don't know. I may have ADHD. Maybe just nobody diagnosed me. But hey, I'm always thinking of something. You know.
But what amazes me is that you never had music training. You've all been creative and learned by ear and.
Yeah, I had
never been taught.
Yeah, I had that one basic, you know, course, you know, and I took it at one of the community colleges, and it was, you know, for that short period of time, and it was more so as a refresher, you know, taking, you know, band and play the instrument at some point. But this was way earlier, and then there was that gap of time where I didn't really do that. I was into football, got into sports, you know, did boxing at one point. And like I said, I did a lot of things, you know, I was always everywhere, you know. But
well, Skit P is an artist, producer, songwriter.
Yeah.
And, the list goes on and on. And you met a friend, J6.
J Fix.
I'm sorry, Fix. Yeah.
J Fix, man. He's been around. You know, we had the group back in the day. We were part of the group Newgrounds, you know, and it's still to this day, you know, we're still doing music together. He actually has a project coming out entitled the J Fix Tape, produced by myself as well as Repo, Aaron Stroud. He's another one of the producers for the project. And, you know, I really feel like the people have to, it's not what I feel, the people have to hear this, you know. It's just, you know, it's one of those projects that I feel like is going to be a real game changer. It's going to bring people back to reality, you know, because I feel what's filled out there so much, you know, and what's pushed in our faces is, you know, it's a movie, it's kind of fantasy like, you know, this is, you know, it's everything from affirmations, you know, the struggles, but it's a really uplifting track, you know, it's high energy. You're gonna learn something, you know, you're gonna feel some type of way when you put it in. I guarantee you probably gonna go get a check. You know, you may get a raise at work. But yeah, it's a lot.
Well, that takes us to give us a little overview of Another Vision Productions.
Another Vision Productions is everything. It's life. It's the cult. No, I'm just playing. It ain't no cult, but you know. No.
How'd you come up with that?
You know, I had another vision. It was right around high school. I had to go to the junior college. You know, that was the path pretty much. You know, I really didn't want to do just school. You know, it was like it was there, but man, I think I did this on the ACTs. You know, it was, and you know, so I had to do the JUCO if I was gonna play the football. And when I got out there, it may have been off for maybe a week or two. You know, I was going through the camps and I was actually doing really good. You know, I was like, but it was just something I was missing. You know, like I wasn't doing the music at that point, and I had to like at that point I just had another vision. You know, and that was it. And it was just I came back home, and then that was what really got things, you know, kind of back cooking, and it was just taking off from there. You know, we've done a lot, opening, man, artists like, you know, legendary Bone Thugs. You know, they've worked for, you know, Notorious. You know, they've been on tracks with Notorious B.I.G., Tupac. You know, they were on Eazy-E's label. You know, and these are all like legendary when you come, and just being face to face with these guys was pretty cool. Like, you realize once you actually meet these people, they're kind of like just like you in most cases. You know, it's just we all just people, and it was you know, but it was just crazy because from going from being in the basement, you know, with your guys, you know, shooting the breeze, you know, and listening to these guys, you know, these are the people that is like, these are your idols, you know, that you're idolizing at that point, and they're like there, and you know, you're opening up shows for them, you know, Ice Cube, Common, even Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill. And that was something, you know. I don't know if we want to talk about that, but yeah.
Well, in passing, you know, he's part of the industry, so.
Yeah, but these are all great, you know, musicians, you know, and people that you could learn from, even if it's only 5 minutes, you know, it's like these, you know, to be around like minds, you know, and great minds, you know, is definitely a blessing.
Well, just about your location now, do you lease out a facility, or you have your own? Like you mentioned about your basement.
Nah, you know, it's you know, right now, you know, everything is you know, got the home studio, you know, and that's where we craft the sound, that's where we mold it, you know, that's where, you know, we're most comfortable. It's literally home, you know, and that's where I feel like you can make the best work. You know, there's no inhibitions or anything like that. It's just, you know, you're free. We could be as loud as we want, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know, we're right out here, Lake County. It's the hometown. It's, you know, where we're from, you know, born and raised, went to the schools out here in North Chicago. But yeah, just repping hard. So yeah, Lake County, stand up.
Do you have other artists that coming over to lease your facility?
No, you know, it's right now, it's Another Vision Production or nothing. You know, we do have a few affiliates, you know, just artists that I've been working with, but it's, you know, it's all private. It isn't necessarily open up to the public. You know, I don't want to stretch myself too thin. My main focus right now is really just giving, you know, it all to the production, to the editing. You know, I do the editing, you know, the mixing, the mastering, all that. It's a lot. So working with, I kind of always wearing different hats, you know, with being the one that's, you know, probably produced the song, you know, probably shooting the video, doing the editing. So yeah, right now it's just, you know, it's private in the meantime, but it's definitely a bigger vision. You know, I want to be as big as Walt Disney. You know, to be honest with you, you know, because I'm just big in the arts and period. You know, I'm gonna have a giant studio, you know, where I got artists doing graphics. We're gonna have the studio up top, probably a couple of them. But yeah.
Well, this brings us to past, present, and future projects of Another Production.
Well, past, we go back, we had, the first one was Breaking New Grounds.
Okay.
That was the group with, known as Shaq the God now. We got G Nix, J Fix, myself. We had D-Lad. But it was, you know, it was a mixtape. You know, we had some industry beats. It was, you know, we were all just vibing out. We had Hybrid, which was a project composed of myself, J Fix. That's out, you know, it's available on Dat Piff, you know, and a lot of other, you know, websites out there right now. But, and then we got Sex, Drugs, and Hip Hop. That's another, you know, one that's pretty much, I say, a more current. And then also, we have the lovely Jonelle Glory, her project OA. She has OA Congetto, which is actually the title of the EP. Man, Children of the Sun, which is, I really feel we just got to get it out there, you know, and really just, we really got to push that record. I know the idea for the music video is just, it's epic. And she's really talking about something, you know, I really feel like she's gonna she's giving knowledge in a way that it's, man, you got the best of both worlds where you got the dope beats and everything, and it's just her swag. It isn't like corny. You know, I've heard some stuff where people are trying to be positive and they're doing too hard, but this is her. You know, I live with her. You know, I see her every day. This is the person that she is, and you know, once again, it's just out there. You know, it's on record, and it just feels good. You know, good vibes. And then looking into the future, we got J Fix's Fix Tape, which is about to drop, which I was stated earlier, it definitely a must hear. You know, it's gonna be available all the online places. You can stream it on Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, all the major online stores. J Fix also and D-Lad, they got a joint project, and man, it's gonna be hard hitting. I feel like, you know, 2018 definitely is gonna be a lot of content from Another Vision Productions, you know, put out there. I feel like people are really gonna hear what's been going on and just really connect with what they, you know, need to.
You mentioned about J Fix. Now you're working with him, or you just
no, you know, we're all on the label. We all pushing Another Vision Productions. It's all AVP.
He's part of the
production. Yeah, yes sir, yes sir. You know, the artist that's under there is, you know, myself, J Fix, Jonelle Glory, D-Lad De Niro. Yeah, those, and then we got the Gristle. He's another one. I mean, just all talented individuals. You know, they're all different, you know, and unique in their own way, which is why I feel like where I'm at right now, the core that I have is all full circle, you know, because it's literally a globe. I feel like this has happened right now, you know, and I've never felt this way I have before about the music, you know, where I've done things, you know, in the past sometimes, and, you know, you go back maybe a year or two later and it's like, that's old, I don't know, you don't know, you know, it's just like, cause you know, we've grown, but the stuff that's happening right now, you know, Sex, Drugs, and Hip Hop was a compilation of maybe songs from over 3 years, and it was, you know, all just kind of put together and put out there. But it's, man, it's kind of that same concept where I just feel like it's you got the best of both worlds from all over, and it's all coming under one roof, you know?
I mentioned about part-time and full-time. I was thinking of employment. You selling your labels or production or whatever?
Oh yeah, the CDs are definitely available. The singles are available, you know, all online, all the major stores. You know, it's definitely accessible to the people. You can go directly to the website, Another Vision Productions. You can grab everything there, all the content, the music videos, all our upcoming shows. You know, we got photo galleries and things of that nature. You can connect with the artists, reach out to us, the Twitter. It has all our social media on there, you know, backgrounds of all the artists, you know, a little bit more in depth, the biographies. It's all on the website. It's all Another Vision Productions, AVP.
Now you mentioned your online website, but what is your website? Because we could post it on the screen here, but what is your website?
AnotherVisionProductions.com.
All right. Right. Oh, this is computer age is something else.
Yeah.
Speak up and pop right up
It's
there.
like magic. Now, that was a magic trick. That was a magic trick. Shout out to Jabriz. I see you. I'm doing magic too. I'm magical. I'm just saying.
It's just fantastic. So you're working with quite a few artists. You mentioned about Jay Fix, but there's other artists you're working with also.
Yeah, Jonelle Glory. We got more projects coming out with them. I mean, it's other artists from around the way. Crucial, King Crucial. It's a, man, you know, we got a couple things out there, Quarter Key. We also working with, you know, DST Records. I know we've been kind of, you know, got some things brewing with them. It's a lot, you know. Some of them are still, it's so early in the production, you know. I'm kind of waiting. I don't want to name drop everything, but we definitely got a lot in the works, you know, and definitely just, I've been behind the scenes connecting with a lot of individuals from not just, you know, song artists, but, you know, video producers and things of that nature, just all across the board, you know, just building the team. And just, you know, I'm not always in the forefront, you know. A lot of times I may be the guy that's holding the boom mic. You know, I get in where I fit in.
You mentioned about lifestyle and diet change.
Yeah, you know what? That was, I'd have to say that was inspired by Jonelle Glory, you know, which is, you know, some of the things that, you know, she's just putting out there, shine a light on. And, you know, when you really are truly like healthy, you know, you eat right, things of that nature, you know, and really have knowledge, proper knowledge on nutrition, because I feel that's something that we as a, you know, civilization, just as the world, which is actually, it's coming more in the forefront with just nutrition, you know, just better ways of living, you know. When you have, you know, proper diet, you know, you feel right, you know, you're operating at, you know, the optimal level, you know, you have a clear mind, you know. So it's that's one of the biggest things I'd say in regards to that. She's yeah, but that, and I don't eat ribs, you know. It's hard every time I pass by Hillary's. You know, I smell the sauce. It's the sauce. The sauce gets me, man. It's my weakness. I start to crumble up a little bit, but you know, it's all for the good. You know, I feel like I feel better. I look better. You know, I'm making better music. I have a, you know. That's
a good point you raised because I know you spend a lot of time in production, but do you exercise a lot?
You gotta get in the gym. You know, that's big. You know, I don't want to be that rapper that's on stage and I can't rap my verse because I don't have the wind to do it. You can't even, it's only the background music that you hear, you know, like, so that's big, you know, and I definitely am in the gym constantly. That's still a big part. I like to implement a lot of the stuff that I've learned over the years from football, from boxing, kind of incorporating all into one. And I think it's been working out for me. You know, I'd say I got a before and after picture coming soon.
Okay.
Just to see, you know, from where I was at to where I'm at right now it's pretty crazy.
Freestyle.
Ooh, okay. You just, real quick, you want me to drop a freestyle for him?
Okay.
All right. Trying to get faded? Happy you made it, been hoping and waiting. Right now I'm feeling impatient. Bumping that old school up in the basement. Open up Pro Tools and we spacing. Arrange that build up like the Masons. Last bud in that Mason. Past that, then we spacing. Real quick. You know, hey, we.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I give the audience an idea of, you know,
man,
the work that you're involved in, you know, so forth.
Yeah, you know, I'm always, that's, you know, that's what it, you know, it's crazy. I always get tripped out when I go, and that's another thing, they'd be like, hey, drop a freestyle.
Okay.
Hey, you know, especially, hey, I be at one time, you could be at the gas station, at the pump, USP kind of thing, you know, and it's like, man, hey, you got to get good. I got to be quick on my toes, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, is there a typical day for Skit P?
Typical? Maybe for the fact that, you know, I'd say being in front of the keys, Yeah and no. You know, because like at the end of the day, you know, we still got a family life, and that's huge. You know,
Okay.
definitely, you know, want to be there for the family as much as possible, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. You know, to some degree. You know, those are the people that's, you know, that's gonna stick around. You know, that's there. You know, the loved ones. But you know, so you definitely gotta balance. And you never know. Like, life is crazy. Always throw you a curveball. You know, it's.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, for the most part, though, I'm definitely stuck in the studio to some degree. I find it balance, but that's the biggest thing. You know, the typical day I'd say is waking up early before everybody. You know, I'm kind of like sneaking out of bed. You know, hey, go downstairs, hey, put the headphones on, and then that's where I create. You know, a lot of times, it's almost like done in secret sometimes. You know, where I had that mode and, you know, nobody's around. I'm just vibing out and jamming. I'm normally not the one that jams. As you see, is my arms flailing around like that. You know, I don't know if I got all the moves, but it's it's definitely something that I'd say that's typical.
Well, I have a neighbor that the wife tells me that she has to drag her husband away from the computer, you know, that he stuck there, and she's not gonna, it's not gonna destroy their marriage, but it has a great influence. You know?
What is he doing on the computer?
He's doing everything, you know.
Oh man, yeah. Nah, you know, it is to some degree, it's almost like a drug. I mean, the music is addicting. I think that's another reason, you know, sex, drugs, and hip hop it's more, you know, to it. You know, like I wanted to have a raw title.
Okay.
For, you know, what I labeled out there and put out there, but you know, sex, drugs, hip hop. I feel like right now that's life, in a sense. You know, with what it's filled with, in a sense. But you know, the music is the drug. You know. Mm-hmm. Hip hop is the culture. Hip hop is, you know, is life. You know, it's a movement, and it's forever changing. You know, it's society. Mm-hmm. To some degree right now. I mean, a little bit ago, you know, you seen the president jam into, well, you know, the real president that we had. But
The real one.
yeah, I don't know what's going on right now, man.
Right.
But you know, it's everywhere.
That's what people kind of associate with sex, drugs, alcohol, you know, with hip hop, you know, but not necessarily, right?
It's, you know, it's more to it. You know, like you could take it. You know, you could take it from that, you know, because I think, yeah, everybody, you know, alcohol, drinks, you know, we all go out, have a good time, but it's all about balance too, you know, and that's where, you know, come back to the core of everything is, you know, is balance, you know, have a good time, you know, but we all got to work and, you know, do things. We can't just sit around and just, you know, it ain't just one big party all the time.
Mm-hmm. Social life, do you get away?
You know, I do. I try to get out as much as I can. You know, with the friends and everything like that. It's a pretty small circle. I mean, you know, I still hang out with friends from grade school. Believe it or not, you know, just kind of been running around since shorties, you know, and you know, try to get away and, you know, maybe play the Xbox, play the PlayStation, whatever it is. These days, I'm getting whooped. I used to be the man in Madden. I used to. But these days, you know, even the kids is wiping the floor with me on the system. We was playing the Xbox 360 last week, and it just, I won a couple games, and I thought I was doing it, and then they got a hold of me, man, and it was a wrap. But, you know, the social life is here and there. You have to peel me away, or I'll fall in the ebb and flow, you know, of things, and that's a lot of times just gluing, you know, myself in front of the PC, the Mac, and just, you know, just doing what it do, doing what I love to do. I got my fingers on the keys, you know, or on the guitar strings, and you know, that's the drug. It's addictive. I got an issue. I got problems.
Well, what about church influence in your life? Do you have time for?
Man, now that's you know what, I can't say these days. I've been, you know, in the church. I'll probably get scolded for it after I get off the set.
Okay.
But I've, you know, I actually was raised up, you know, Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Which, you know, it was, you know, definitely a lot was learned, you know, a lot of core values in life. You know, they teach a lot of good things. They clown them a lot, you know. They kind of be the blunt of the jokes, you know, from going door to door. But that's a hustle, though, you know. And I would say this, watching them do that, you know, makes me, like, kind of comfortable to the, you know, today to, like, walk up to somebody like, hey, I got the music, because, you know, one thing with what we have is it's a hustle, you know, on like the independent side, like being an independent artist, you know, you really have to grind, and you can't be afraid to get out here and sell yourself, you know, to the people and walk up to somebody and be like, hey, when I see myself handing out the CD, I kind of like almost like think of like back in the day when I was a shorty and you would see him, hey, knocking on the door, handing out the pamphlets.
Well, they have a passion of what they're doing.
Exactly. You know? And that's actually another thing. D-Lad De Niro, I had to plug him, The Passion. If you haven't heard it, make sure you get it. Also, another one is Addiction is another one of the projects out there. Make sure y'all download that Piff, YouTube, you can find it, Facebook, wherever you at, it's there. But yeah, The Passion, that's, yes.
But that's in everything, you know. I have a passion for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For radio and TV, right?
Yeah, and you know, I appreciate you, you know, just really just having that platform out there, you know, for people like myself, you know, and, you know, just really getting out there, you know, and exposing, you know what I'm saying, just artists, business people, you know, just people around the community. You know, that's big. We need that, you know. Too many people, you know, are like trapped behind the phones and looking at a screen and swiping and typing, you know, face to face. I see you live, but we do got live, though.
Well, we have to do it. We have to have you let Lake County know, you know, that we do have people, other people with passions, you know, too. And
man, Lake County,
part of life, you know.
And Lake County is saturated with, I mean, you know, just culture, you know, that a lot of people don't know about. You know, like in the city, like everything is like, people almost think everything is out there, you know, and oh, this is just the suburbs. But there's so much culture out here, it's ridiculous, that's overlooked. Good food, a lot of good food, a lot of good music. You know, I've come across some of the most talented people right out here in my hometown. And it blows my mind that we don't have more people in the forefront than what we do that's from our way. So that's one thing that I definitely look forward to really just seeing a lot more of us going mainstream and getting out there, because, I mean, you got the Quarter Keys, you got, man, the John Contents, you know, in the area that are just, they've been doing it. Man, Sparkle Motions, it's a lot of, it's rich, and it's thousands, it's millions, you know, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. I mean, like, Lake County is huge. And I'm sure I'm probably missing over a whole lot of them, but it's definitely, and then the food, we got Big Ed's. Big Ed's is everywhere. I mean, I'm in the store, I'm just going down the aisle trying to grab, he's on the radio now. I was at JJ's one day, and then I felt guilty because I seen Big Ed's on the TV. I was like, I probably should have went to Big Ed's.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I'll have to, early in his career, I had him on the program, but I think it's about time for me to get him back again.
Man, you know, so much has changed. He's right downtown there in Lakehurst, and he's one of the business owners around the way that I've worked with, because that's one thing that I'm big on, is just connecting with, you know, the local businesses and, you know, just trying to reach out. Real cool dude. And he actually he got background in the music as well. And that's why I say it's just like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, literally.
He would be considered a role model, you know, for a lot of people too. You know, speaking of role models, you mentioned some of the role models in your career too.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'd say the two biggest role models were my parents.
Okay.
You know, learned so much from them. I feel like I've been blessed with so much of them. You know, my mom, you know, was a singer back in the day. You know,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Hey, even now, it's definitely, you know, my pops used to be in the band, played the bass. I like to think that's probably.
Well, you got music in your family there.
Yeah. You know, I just been blessed to kind of, you know, take hold of some of that. And Yeah, it's those were definitely, you know, just the upbringing, the core values. You know, they taught a lot. You know, those hard lessons. You know, maybe on the backside that I've taken, but I'd rather them have done it than life.
Okay, right. You know, tell us about women in your field. There is a lot of women in there. I know lately I've been. Well, I go to BET and some of the others, and I see women rappers I hadn't seen before. And
oh, there's plentiful. I feel like they've always been around, you know,
Okay.
on the set. But right now, they're definitely getting, you know, they're being put out there, you know, a lot more. But we've always had them. I mean, from
Yeah.
MC Light, you got, yeah, man, that dope lyricist, to the Missy Elliott's, which was, you know, an artist, a producer. She's, you know, worked with legendary, you know, singers like Aaliyah, legendary producers, Timbaland. Then you got Eric. Well, I can't say she's a rapper. She kind of does it all though. But we got the Lauryn Hills, which was, you know, she did the rapping, the singing. She did it all. You know, they even till today, you got the Nicki Minaj's, the Cardi B's, which they kind of beefing. I hope they work that out. You know, because they it's all about love. You know.
I'm wondering, is the field overcrowded with talent?
It's always going to be a plethora, I feel, of artists, you know, and people that's out there, because, you know, when you're putting that music out, you know, when the people hear you on the radio, where they cross your path on, you know, Facebook or social media, like they connect with you, and then they're inspired now, you know, and I mean, it's out there for the millions, billions of people, so it's so many people are being exposed to it. So many people are being inspired. So it's gonna always be like that. Just like I know there was probably a couple hundred groups, you know, back in the day that sounded like Earth, Wind, and Fire, or you probably had a couple Marvin Gayes or people that thought they was Marvin, you know, to Michael Jackson. I've seen a couple. People still doing Michael to the day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wonder about, have you experienced any racism in the field?
Racism, man. Now that's a hard hitting topic, and you know it's due to the fact, I'd say, being, you know, you kind of catch it from both sides, you know, especially when you right in the middle. I'm walking that tightrope, you know, but it's you know, it's here and there. You know, you got to always cross paths with, you know, people that are ignorant. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're all people. And I feel like if I'm showing love and continue just, you know, being me, it really doesn't affect me. A lot of stuff rolls right off, you know, because there's always going to be a level of ignorance, you know, and I feel like if I set the bar higher in how I carry myself, it don't even matter, you know. I got to be the role model for some people, I guess.
You know, speaking of exercising and other activities outside of the, you know, your work, I understand that you were a boxer at one time too, right?
Yeah, I used to throw them fists.
As
man.
a matter of fact, a manager was a friend of mine, Edwin L. Ford Sr., right?
Yeah.
Was he?
He was, you know what, I'd have to say, you know, I definitely, he was another role model too, because he instilled, there was a level of discipline, you know, that came with Mr. Ford, you know, he being the boxing coach and being just rooted so deeply, you know, in that sport. That was just, he played a huge part of my life at a time, you know.
Yeah, I mentioned him because he's a great friend of mine too, with different NAACP and others. He had a passion for what he was doing too, boxing as well as civil rights and so forth. Well, Brad, I want to thank you very much for taking time from your busy schedule and coming out of your household environment there to let Lake County know about Another Vision Productions.
Yes.
And again, you mentioned that the website, I think last time we had it on the screen there, but it's what?
AnotherVisionProductions.com.
Okay, there it is. Speak.
AnotherVisionProductions.com.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I want to thank again your mother, had it not been for her, this program would not have existed.
Man,
you know,
shout out
so.
to Mom. She's on the set right now.
All
Shout out to
right.
Moms.
And
Hey.
also a friend of yours, Jay Fix.
Yeah, Jay Fix, man. He's always been there, man, rocking with your boy, man.
We want to really congratulate you on the work that you're doing and hope you continued success.
Man, thank you. I appreciate you for having me. Lake County, thank you. Lake County, stand up. Cook County, Kenosha County, wherever you at.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking to Brad Tate, better known as Skit P, and the owner of Another Vision Productions. And we hope that you go to his website and see more of the work that he's doing. This has been Community Forum. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks Sr., your host.